Welcome back to the FlipCast, everybody. My name's Owen. This is Ledger. Today we are joined by a super special guest. As you guys can see, can't move this. It's going to make it harder to edit and post. We're joined by Tyler today. Welcome, Tyler.
Thank you.
Tyler
everybody.
from Adapty.
My nickname's Adapty. I go by Adaptable on Twitch and YouTube, and on all other socials, it's Adaptable Twitch.
Fantastic. We'll link everything for him in the comments and comments in the description below.
Yeah, we'll put it on screen in the video right now too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry,
We're gonna put it
Owen.
right above Ledger's fucking hat.
It's gonna be great, bro.
So, just as a little bit insight for everybody, right now we got a time check here. It's about 11:45 at night. We sat down to record this episode at about 7 p.m. with a little bit of technical difficulties. The blue snowball is back in action, and we're
Yes.
here, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know how it's back in action.
It is miraculously
We are
back.
here.
We are back. So,
Yes, it is.
before we get into this episode, I want to present our special guest here with a special treat here.
Oh yeah,
Christ
When
almighty.
we have guests on the FlipCast, we like to treat them well.
that's awesome.
For Caden, we got him some food, and everybody
Right.
else that we're gonna have on, we're gonna have some extra stuff. So, Tyler, we hear that you like streaming. We hear that you're a big gamer, and
Absolutely.
we hear that sometimes when you get a phone call, you just cannot hang it up. You can't deny it. So, Tyler, I'd like to present you with an extra special gift today from Walmart's closing section. We're gonna show it to you.
Video games are calling.
No.
And I must get
Right now?
Please put this on.
All right, you guys are gonna have to give me a minute. I'll be right back.
Yes, we'll do it.
All right, now that Tyler's in proper uniform, we're ready to go on this interview here.
Absolutely.
So-
go right
Oh
ahead.
no, you're
No,
ready.
no,
Owen.
no.
You know what? How's your day been, boys? My signature. I always ask people how their day's been.
Tyler, that wasn't the question. So,
That's
welcome
not the
back to
question.
the FlipCast, everybody.
Welcome back,
That's fucking
everybody.
crazy. Why are you guys acting so awkward?
All right.
Start to me.
You're the only one that's awkward here, pal.
Like Tyler gave us an introduction here, he is active on his platforms on Twitch and Kick, and part of that is the big reason he's here today. This FlipCast episode is going to be focused on the struggles of streaming,
The struggles of streaming.
On God.
and we got him here today. We're going to ask him some riveting questions.
The most riveting.
If you guys have returned to this show, we did an interview a while back with up-and-coming artist Caden Poppin.
Oh, shout out Caden.
And we asked him some questions. We had a good time, and today we're doing that here with Tyler today. So
Indeed.
we're ready to go.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Anything we want to say to the viewers before we hop right into this, Owen?
Well, as you guys all know, follow us on all of our social media platforms, linked below in our link tree. You can check that out in the description. We're everywhere on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, and anywhere we really can think to find us. Spotify, we're there. If you don't have time to watch our full-length podcast, you can check us out on all the short-form platforms, which is TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts.
Yep.
And if you would like to, neither of us are wearing the merch today. We're
We
slacking.
got a FlipCast hat
We got the
in
hats.
the back there.
It's slacking a little bit today, but it's okay.
Slacking.
If you guys would like to hook up your friends and family for the holiday season, Zazzle.com/flipcast. It's up there. It'll be linked in the description. Check it out. You can't miss it.
Here we go.
Thank you for the plug section. Now, video games are calling. We're into the interview.
Here we go. Okay, so Tyler, tell us about your origin story with your streams. How did you get into it and involved with that community?
Indeed.
Okay, so about almost over a year ago, about a year and like 2 or 3 months ago, I started following this community streamer, or smaller community streamer. Not like super small. He has a few thousand followers. He's small enough that like I became a VIP and I've subbed to him for like 16 months, and so like to an extent it's a parasocial relationship. Regardless,
What's parasocial?
do you
Describe
not know what
parasocial, please.
parasocial means?
Our viewers might not
Okay,
know
so
what it means.
parasocial is when somebody like a content creator or an actor or something has some sort of like friendship with, or it obviously could be more than that, but a friendship with somebody who is of their viewership. You know what I mean? So like a streamer texting or not texting, but like on Discord, like DMing some form of a fan or viewer or something. And so, like, this community is very parasocial in the aspect that we kind of all talk to each other outside of stream. Like, we're very close with each other in that regard. And so I was able to get close with, like, all of them. And so it inspired me to stream on my own. And so at the time, I didn't have a computer that was really capable of doing a one-computer stream, because you need kind of a monster to do that. And especially to get out quality games, it's damn near fucking impossible. I'll say that right now. It took me a few months. Once I built my newer computer, then I was all in for it. But before that point, I went onto Canva, which is a great free resource for any sort of streamer.
Oh, we love Canva here.
Yeah, Canva's amazing. Streaming, building your brand, whatever it may be, right? And you go into Canva and you develop your brand. So I developed my brand. I realized I really liked like the purple, orangish, pinkish color scheme. Like I loved that. It was phenomenal. So I was like, I'm gonna build my brand off of that. So originally I built it as Adaptable Gaming, because that was that's what I went by for a while. And then after I built my brand, I implemented all of that, and I did like one test stream a while back. That's long gone now because of the Twitch database thing. And then I started streaming. I after my brand was developed, and I was able to promote myself in that smaller Twitch community, and because they all knew me so well, they all gave me a good follow, and they gave me a good word, and they, even on one of his streams where he had like 20 viewers, he shouted me out. I got like 2 followers from that. It was amazing. And in about a month, I made Twitch affiliate because of that lovely community. I wouldn't be where I am without that community. So I'm now at 70 followers, but to become a Twitch affiliate, you need 50, and so I was able to reach that affiliate, mountain top point, which is like the first of the many peaks that you need to be able to get to.
Fantastic.
We had an episode a while ago where we talked about personal brands, but it's always interesting to hear people's personal story and how they got to the point and what they had to learn, and what they had to do in order to make that happen. Twitch streamers, kick streamers. I mean, there's so many people out there. Many people who try to get into it, just like YouTubers and that kind of thing. It's a skill that anybody can try to acquire, but it's only the few that really make it big and really climb to the top and are recognizable, such as streamers like iShowSpeed and Kai Cenat and
XQC.
Yeah, many of streamers who are very well known. And what do you think if I was a streamer just starting out? I mean, it's a lot of money, isn't it, to really get into the hobby?
It is and it isn't. So a lot of modern streaming platforms, like or consoles, or not streaming consoles themselves. So like you're talking, let's just say you're starting out with an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5. Those are the two staples right now. On PlayStation 5, if you get a PlayStation camera for about $80, you can start streaming with your webcam, no issues, right? And you can actually get overlays that you can implement with any basic computer. You just have to go do a few things, log in, and so on and so forth, and it'll be there every single time you stream. You don't need to start it from your computer, right? Xbox, on the other hand, is a lot more accessible because you're able to use things like a Logitech webcam or something of the sort, and you're able to plug it in without any restrictions. There's no, you need to have an Xbox certified bullshit for that. It's like you can use a Logitech and they're not going to shit on you for it, and not allow it, and you can stream from there. And Xbox has way better Discord integration, so you don't need a lot of money. You need to at least have some sort of gaming console or possibly a gaming laptop. But even then, with a gaming laptop, you're pushing your limits because these things overheat very easily, and a lot of times when you don't have a super high-end processor on laptops, the OBS will just eat up a majority of your processing power. So to be 100% dead fair and everything I'm saying, my computer was around $3,000. I run an Intel i9-12900K with 32 gigs of DDR5 that run at 6,000 megahertz, and a 3080 with 12 gigs of GDDR6 with a 2 terabyte SSD, M.2 SSD, NVMe. As we call it.
You're talking about these prices here. That's all the costs that are associated with getting started as a streamer. It's having a well-built computer is a starting point for could be a successful career.
I would say yes, but also no, in the sense of, like I was saying about Xboxes and PlayStations, right? You can start off with that, but you're eventually going to want to move to a computer where you can have a capture card, and you can really take your, like you're saying, yes, in terms of getting started, a computer might be essential to an extent, but getting like a full-on gaming computer is where you can take it to the next level, in my opinion.
Well, that's what makes the successful streamers from the not so successful streamers is the quality of stream that's being put out. If I had a stream coming off of my PlayStation and I stream Fortnite, that's fine and all, but it might not be the same quality of stream as someone else who's running off their computer and can play a wide array of games.
So
true.
I agree with you again, but I also don't. So a prime example of this is Jinxie, right?
Okay.
Jinxie, or here's the thing: this is the biggest thing when it comes to streaming is if you're good at something, and if you're good at a video game, people will have more fun watching that. But also, it can change because if you have to have one of two things. You either have to have the personality where you can attract people in, and you can enjoy, like, this is like the polar sides of it. You have the personality where you can draw people in, right? Like think of Ninja. Like, he's obviously a very good gamer, but he's not the best in the world at Fortnite anymore. He's not the best in the world at any game he plays. There's nothing against him. There's always technically going to be somebody better than you, right? So with him, right, he has a personality where, like, he'll draw people in. He'll make funny jokes. You know what I mean? Like, he said some off the charts things in the past, but whatever, right? Think of Jinxie, right? He's off the charts funny because he's loud and he's obnoxious and stuff like that. But he plays on an Xbox. Like, he has I think a $5,000 computer, and he doesn't use it to play video games at all. He just uses it to plug his Elgato into, edit, and his edits are like 40-minute clips from his streams. Like, that's just to put in perspective. If you're able to have, he has like both. He has that really like annoying, some people think annoying, but I think really funny and drawing in personality, and he has the skill. So that's why he has such fame.
Well, I agree that it definitely takes a certain kind of personality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, to have a good personality and to be attracting in viewers is huge. I mean, that's what we're doing in a sense with this podcast or show.
Yeah.
You know, we for what? I mean, 6 months now we've been trying to attract a viewer base, and very slowly we've been building that.
Exactly.
And that's the same with streamers. You're trying to get a loyal fan base who's willing to subscribe to you, donate to you, that kind of thing.
Yes.
And I like your points there with explaining how yes, you do need a good setup that could make you successful, but there's also a level of skill that comes in playing video games that you might need to be successful, and personality wise, like you're saying. So that's two huge points right there. It's absolutely something to think about for somebody who's maybe interested in getting into that career path, or not career path, but at least a hobby path is
to
streaming.
start.
There's many different types of streams out there we're seeing at this point, other than gaming. There's a wide array. We got like IRL streams, and we have gambling streams, and food streams. And many years ago, I mean, streaming has existed for a very long time. I mean, we look back years back. I mean, platforms have been kind of making this happen, and in the current age, it's much bigger than it ever has been before.
I completely agree.
It used to just be kind of a hobby, but now people are making full-on livings off of being a content streamer and that kind of thing. And as great as that is, the streaming community is also growing massively every day.
Exactly.
I mean, you're a new member to the community. You're a year in. It's interesting to see, because the larger these platforms grow in membership, and people who are making videos, and people who are having streams daily and having streams weekly, there starts to be a contention point where small streamers who are just starting out are struggling to get new viewership, because there's so many different people out there, and they're eating up all the new viewers. And it's harder for you, maybe as a newer streamer, to gain more viewers as a larger streamer such as like Aiden Ross or Kai Cenat, who can massively gain views with new viewers all the time because they were very early on in the platform and have built that. But my reasoning and my point is, what would you say to someone, a new streamer, how do you keep them going when, there's so many streamers out there that at this point, the market is so populated. There's so many people trying to make it big. I mean, how do you stay motivated through that?
To be honest, I can tell you right now that there's going to be points where you will sit there and be like, this is pointless. As stupid as this sounds, there was a few times where I thought about just dropping it, deleting everything, and just moving on with my life, playing video games by myself, and just figuring it out, right? You know, that road to affiliate took me about a month, and I was very grateful because that's a very short period of time by which you can.
Yeah, you hit that quick.
I hit 50. I was at 7, and I jumped to 50 in about a month. Right, that's a massive leap, and obviously one of the biggest things is connections, and I never used that community for connections. I didn't even think about that until, like, I realized that my connection could help me, but I never really – for a long time, I didn't ever promote in that chat because I didn't feel like I wanted to use that community. One of the biggest things you have to do to keep motivated is those streams or those times where you're editing and you're just like, this is pointless, like, I'm going to just drop this, like, post it, you know, go for the stream. There was one time where I was just like, I don't want to stream, or I want to get off early, right? And instead of getting off early, I pushed through for an extra, like, hour. But the hour was only originally going to be an extra 10 minutes of stream, an extra 20 minutes, extra 30 minutes of stream. And, you know, when that happened, there was, like, a surgence of, like, 4 follows in that 10 minutes to an hour, right? I've noticed that this has happened multiple times where I've been in a bad mood and I don't want to stream, and I feel like it's going to be a shitty stream, low viewership, everything like that. Because I only average about 2 to 5 viewers a stream, which is, like, that's abysmal sometimes. Is if you can find even 5 people who care, 2 people, 1 person, just 1 person that will watch your stream for you, so you don't have to worry, or a friend, it doesn't matter. Just those people are what I feel like are what will keep you motivated. You have to. It's a lot of pushing through. In my opinion,
you would recommend people join a community.
In my opinion, yes, and I say that the best way to motivate yourself is to surround yourself by people that will number 1 keep you motivated, but number 2 be able to help you with the task at hand.
So networking is key.
Networking, in my opinion,
okay,
is key. Or even if it's not networking to people, but networking to platforms.
Well,
right,
and
that's why you guys
huge.
have so many different platforms. You've got your TikTok, Instagram, everything like that, and having that ability to post content. Say you wanted to post a thing where you're like, what should I do differently to these different people? And you might get a content difference from TikTok, from YouTube, from everything in a poll. And that will tell you what these people want in these different platforms.
Well, and a good thing to look at, too, is in a lot of these platforms, they give you the ability to look at analytics.
Exactly.
And you can see who's watching your stream. You can see you're watching your TikTok
and the
videos,
retention of that, too.
the retention rates. And that could give you a really good insight of, you know, if your viewers are, you know, 18 to 24 male, you know, that's an audience. Or maybe they're 13 to 16 male. Those are kids. You know, they're going to want maybe different gaming content than 18 to 24-year-olds or, you know, older. And, you know, short form videos are the way to go at this point. I mean, for anybody trying to come up and make their way into, like, a new path with, you know, online video ship and that kind of thing. You know, it's good to have a short form platform. We've talked about it with the algorithm.
Oh yeah, all organic growth, organic viewership. You know, not to steal your thunder. I mean,
No,
the way
you guys
Tyler
are right,
talks
you guys are
about you know, the idea of making like a network and networking and going across all these streaming platforms and things like that. If you're just trying to pull people in and trying to get people, it would make sense to go short form and to go all these different ways that are algorithm driven. We know that you have a big presence on TikTok in the sense of comparatively, right?
Yeah.
With like viewership and the consistency of people coming in. I mean, just to ask the question, you want to take us through kind of like maybe the process of taking a VOD, maybe taking something and being like, this is what I need to post on TikTok?
It's really hard when you're small to formulate short form content, and that's something I learned the hard way. I thought, you know, whatever, I'll just clip this, I'll look at it later, but in reality, these clips aren't shit. The thing is, at the end of the day, you need something that's super entertaining. You need something that's going to draw somebody in.
Sure.
And one of the biggest things you have to do is I have to do this, and this is the hardest part. So I stream 3 times a week. I normally, right now because I'm in school, I stream Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday with a few occasional surprise streams there when I'm on a break. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Number 1, that's a limited audience. Number 2, I have to go through these VODs, and I have to find a no longer than a minute clip that encapsulates a funny moment or some crazy clip where I get like an ace on Rainbow Six Siege or something. It doesn't matter what it is, but it has to be something of that sort. And it is unbelievable the amount of time it takes to sift through a 4-hour VOD just to find, or a 3 or 4 hour VOD, just to find a 30-second clip. And then you have to go edit that in. And the thing is, with how content is now, you have to have text. You have to have, it reading off to you. You have to have, even if you don't have like some other stuff on the other side, you should have like your face on the top and your gameplay on the bottom, and it should be separated. It shouldn't be like some like weird horizontal bullshit. It's got to be in a way that it's digestible and quick enough that it draws somebody in and then they can leave feeling satisfied, right? And so that's the hardest part. But right now, like with you guys talking about TikTok, I don't have as crazy of a TikTok presence. Like I have a good amount of views on all my videos, but the biggest thing is I have like 15 followers. The one thing that's happening right now, because everybody realized how crazy TikTok was for their algorithm, is that you get view locked at about 200 with a few hits.
Yeah,
here.
that's
we talk about that all the
yeah.
time.
I don't know
That's
if you
a
guys
big
were talking
part
about
of the
this on the
algorithm.
podcast, but it was this huge epidemic. I watched a video, like a video essay on it on TikTok about it or something, just something of the sort.
That's
where
ironic, right?
Yeah, it was like it's ironic, but he was like, people are getting locked at 200 views, and the only way to break that cycle is to have one viral view, and that's where the third kind of hidden, I guess I feel like it's hidden by a lot of creators. This third hidden chance of success is fame, is a bit of luck. You need a sliver. It's not a lot, but you need at least 1 point by which you get one video that gets 1 million views, and there you go. You got it. You're done. You're set. 7,000 views, like, is a lot, but it's not enough to draw on thousands of followers.
Well,
if you could get that one video that gets out there to 1 million people, which on TikTok is very possible. All it takes is that one. They'll follow you. They'll go look at your account. They'll see your socials. They're like, oh, man, this guy's a Twitch affiliate. I should go check him out.
And what happens with people who do go big and they get millions of views on their videos and their short form, they get, people who are hopping on their platform and they are reposting their videos.
Exactly, Jinxie.
Which is huge growth when you have someone repost your videos and, and people talk about, and we're small, so we're not really going to get too much into it because it's not something we're actively seeing people repost our videos. But, you have someone like Mr. Beast who said outright that, he would allow people to post his videos because it's such big traction to have people, bringing them into all of his videos just by short form clips.
The thing is, having those people who will clip for you and post those clips in chat or just clip, you can go into your Twitch and see those clips made by those people, and you can credit them, obviously. But the thing is, those people that clip that, you can take that and make that a TikTok. You can make that, your next short form content, and the people will do it for you because they think it's funny. Then you know that it will gain traction.
So just to explain to the viewers here, you want to clipping something, right? That's
Yes,
when
yes.
is that somebody that has to be that you like authorize to clip your videos? Is that something that
no.
you...
So, and from my knowledge, I'm pretty sure unless you turn it off, anybody can clip a stream. But clipping is normally about a 30 to 45 seconds on Twitch, and you can't really make it any longer. But what a lot of people will do is they just record the VODs of like Kai Sanat, Jinxie, XQC, and they just record those and they highlight the funny moments and they take it. Or on Twitch, what you can do is a highlight where you have multiple highlights in one highlight, and it makes it so like you can just digest it that way, right? You can highlight somebody's stream. So a lot of streaming platforms have that built-in feature, unlike the mobile ones like TikTok and so on.
Okay, so like when people are taking these clips, right? Do you ever have an instance where someone like takes a clip of your stream? Now, do they get that clip too, or does that clip only go to you?
So that clip goes under their name most times.
Okay.
Unless they private it, and then
Gotcha.
you can have a setting, I think, where it privates all your clips.
Mhm.
And I will be able to see that clip on my videos, and everybody can see that clip. So if you clip it, you most times people clip it and post a link in my chat, and that's the only link that'll really go through and be allowed.
Gotcha.
But once you, that's like I have a moderator, and I also mod, so I make sure that there's no other unauthorized. But that's the link that you can post in chat. It'll post like a little snippet, so people can go click it and watch it. And you can notice actually there's view counters on these clips and stuff like that. And it'll, but like you were saying, everybody under that, their names are there, and I'm pretty sure if you go to your own Twitch and your video producer, it'll say clip by me recently.
Oh, that's good to know.
So if I clip it, it'll be clipped by me, and I'll see it obviously because of my video producer. But I'm pretty sure it's for everybody.
Okay.
So like it gives you that chance to have these clips forever for whoever you want. You can download them. You can do whatever you need.
So
to do.
my main reason for asking and kind of going into that, we talk about people reposting people's videos,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And there's this idea that Jinxie may have like accounts that maybe he knows that he's like, okay, repost my stuff. Let's start growing a little bit.
He
He's got-
does. He
he's got
actually shouted one out for his edits.
There you go.
On him. It's
burner
crazy.
accounts, whatever it may be, or fan accounts, right?
Yep.
It's this, the other idea that all these accounts will. I saw this thing where people during COVID were taking all the like big streamers clips and all these big clips and just recording their whole like whole thing, clipping it, whatever, and then posting videos to gain traction.
Yep.
And then this is kind of deviating from the point here, but then rebranding their channel after they get X amount of strikes from reposting other people's stuff or gaining X amount of followers.
Yes.
Right? And it's this idea of using other people's fame to your advantage.
And that's where I agree, but here's the thing though, is that I've thought about that. I've thought about what if I did make a reposting account and everything, and it would get traction. But it's no offense in the regard of you posting and then rebranding, I feel like that's a little scummy in my personal opinion.
Oh,
That's
agreed.
me.
Well,
that's
and
me.
that's anything.
Yeah.
That's me. That's just me.
And
That's
it's
not
it's
just you, that's
it's a
everybody.
moral ethic to it. It's a
Yeah.
moral ethic. That's
Like, if
that's
you're posting
anything.
because you actually enjoy this, then that's different, and you gain a following because of it, then go ahead. You know what I mean? But when people do that and then they rebrand, it can be seen as malicious, in my
Agreed.
opinion.
There's a monetary value that comes along with rebranding your stuff. And
Exactly.
people are trying to make money. That's why they repost people's clips. So
Exactly.
there's always that thought to keep about. Most accounts who are reposting streamer content is monetary.
Yeah.
I show speed clips, Kai Cenat.
Because you get number per views once you reach a certain amount of following, and you become a partner on TikTok. And what a lot of people have been doing, like these different guys, they'll be like Jinxie highlights. And so what they do is they stream all of his VODs live on TikTok when he's not live. And so it's like you scroll past and you're like, oh, that's Jinxie. He's live right now. But he's not live. It traps you in there. It's like this weird – there's just some weird trickery that goes around with it. But like that's one of the things too. Like them having live, people will gift. People will watch, and you get viewers, and that gives you money. You know what I mean? And like you were saying about monetary value, that's where the clipping aspect of reposting clips like that is where it gets kind of, I don't know, I guess you could say scary once you get big enough.
No, let me ask you a question. With streaming, it's to many people who are maybe starting out in it and they're new.
Yeah.
It's a monetary thing. People want to make money, and
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you think it's all about the money?
No, I don't think it's about the money. I think it's about the community that you build. The one thing that I went into this doing was knowing that I will not get money out of it for a long time if I ever do. The biggest thing I went into was wanting to build a community. It's in my description of everything. I say I want to build a loving, welcoming, and like wholesome community. I can't. That's just verbatim of what I said. Where everyone can just come together. We can talk. We can game. We can all relax. Right. The whole thing for me was why I started was to build a community, and it's really interesting watching these people grow and talk to each other and like you see many communities grow within these communities, and that's what inspired me. And I'll be straight up with you guys about my earnings. It doesn't bother me. That's the thing. I want to be transparent about what small creators make. I get about between like 5 to 10 subs a month. The threshold for Twitch by which you can withdraw is $50, and they automatically direct deposit into a PayPal, which then you could transfer to your card after your PayPal is approved. You have to do like a business PayPal account. It's a whole thing unless you want to wait like 2 weeks to transfer something, right? And with the subs, and I get ad revenue, which I'll touch on afterwards, which I don't like the ad revenue on Twitch. It's kind of forced onto viewers. It's not okay. And like bits, everything like that, donations here and there. I make about around $50 every 2 months. That's just to put in perspective, every 2 months. And that would actually be $100 every 2 months if Twitch didn't take about half of that. And so that is the downside. So you have to realize people go into this thinking they're going to make money, but affiliates, Twitch takes half of whatever you make. You make 10 cents, they take 5. You make $50, they take 25. And once you reach that partner level, they take 25% instead of 70, and you take 75, but it's still not as much as you're thinking. You have say you have 100 subscribers. That's $500 normally, right? That would be deposited into your account. Obviously, you've got taxes and Social Security. They make you set that up, but or depending on whatever country you're in. But the biggest thing is that you don't get a monetary payout after this. Like you have to start this with like the mindset that this is a hobby. This could go somewhere. It could, but there's a very good chance it won't. You have to love what you're doing. Don't put yourself through the ringer for this shit to hate it every second, because you're not going to like it. You can't focus on the monetary as soon as you start any sort of social media, because I didn't ever think I was going to get a subscriber. And I have about 5 to 10, which is amazing. but I never, ever, ever, ever beg for subs. I never ask for people to get subs. I don't even have a sub goal. I just have a follow goal. I just want to keep building a community, and I think that that's how you should look at it. You should look at it as building a network of people that could possibly interact with each other. These people never met each other before. Like, I have met friends through that small streaming community, and they're genuine friends. Like, I could talk to them about anything if I needed it, right? And so that's the value, in my opinion, that comes out of these things.
Yeah, so it's just like, fostering that genuine connection with
Exactly.
people. If you go in with that monetary, that the blinded
It's
by
not
the
gonna
cash,
work.
it's just not going to work. We see, to talk about, the parallels between streaming and podcasting, for example, or just content creation, right?
Exactly.
If Ledger and I were to go into this whole idea of being like, we're going to be millionaires next month, game time, right? It's not realistic. It's not going to happen, right?
It's not going to work.
And if we were to do that, we'd go right down. We'd be like, oh, well, okay, we didn't hit our goal. We're done, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing to you, right? If you were going to be like, okay, I'm going to make $500 next month, you don't make anything, you're out. That's just not how it works, right? You have to
Exactly.
ride the wave. You have to be able to stick with it. It's a refreshing take. Some people don't
Exactly.
understand that, and that's what separates the not potentially successful. It's the successful people.
It's having a growth mindset.
Yes, growth mindset.
I
Perfect.
heard this on the Brain League podcast, Jacksepticeye's podcast recently. I listened to those like that and Distractable. Like, I listened to those podcasts a lot, and of course this podcast. I always listen to this podcast, but I listened to
We're
I
a
listened,
show.
no, but I listened to it, and he was like, I don't do it for, like, it's nice that it gains. The thing is, it's a plus that it gains money, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, I like that it gains money, but I still do it because it's what I love. It's what I enjoy.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, even if editing sucks, at the end of the day, I still do enjoy it. I still do enjoy putting out that short form content and seeing those numbers. But also, another thing you have to remember is that those numbers are people.
Right.
Those numbers are people. They're not bots. They're not just numbers on screen. Those are people. And if God forbid you ever had a falling off, that's the people no longer liking you. That's what you have to realize, and that's what a lot of people don't. It's about the crowd you can draw in, and also, like you were saying about age ranges too. You can't be having a bunch of adults with a bunch of kids. You know what I mean? Or not a bunch of adults, but like a bunch of kids, right? And all of a sudden you won't attract adults. So you have to, like,
it's picking a target demographic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So picking your target demographic will also increase the amount of missability of that, like miscability, like the mixing of that audience.
It's about taking that giant market of people with time to spare to watch a stream, right? Because there are people
Exactly.
that can, there's people that can't.
Just the people that watch alone are,
And it's segmenting that market into who are you going to target, right?
exactly.
It's a business podcast. We got to drop into
Absolutely.
business terms.
No,
right?
no, it's true though, because I have a really weird target demographic for not for age but for time, because Eastern Standard Time, I'm up from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and sometimes Sunday.
Bro's an owl.
Right, and so my whole gimmick of my brand is that I'm the adaptable insomniacs. Right, that's what I call my community. So you also have to find your slogan. You have to find, like, what these different, like, what you want to call your audience and what will resonate with them too. That's also part of obviously building the brand.
Completely agreed.
Yeah, 100%.
Boom.
All right. I hate to interrupt you here, but we're
That's
going to
okay.
our Flip 5
Oh,
section.
Flip 5
Flip
Flip
5
5 section!
Hey!
Hey!
All right, here we go, Tyler. We're going to hit you with 5 topics
I
in
bet.
5 minutes. Owen, can you start the timer for me, please?
Of course.
Looks like I'm starting it.
Yeah, I'll take care of the phone. Don't worry.
Awesome. All right, Tyler. We're going to ask you 5 topics in 5 minutes. Your job today here is you're going to have to give us an answer.
Do you know the rules of Flip 5, Tyler?
No.
So we're 5 topics, right? We
5
got
topics in 5 minutes.
We got 5 topics, 5 minutes. Each topic gets 1 minute, and by the time that minute goes off, it is a hard cut next topic. Are you fucking ready?
I'm absolutely ready, boys.
All right, here we
Mr.
go.
Flip.
Welcome to the Flip 5. All right, Adaptal, your first question here today. Yondir Dev has been banned from Twitch for grooming.
For grooming.
Tyler,
Really?
how do you feel about this?
Mr.
I feel
Adaptal,
that's
help me.
very fair. You shouldn't have people who are on that platform, like doing such a thing as that, especially because there are so many children on these platforms and things like that, and people are just people, and when you have somebody that's maliciously doing that, who's to say they're not going to do it again?
That's true.
Completely agreed.
And how does it transition into their personal life?
It transitions into their personal life because that's #1 a felony in the United States of America, and in many countries prison time, including ours. But like it's enough so that, like, if this person's streaming and then they're grooming people, then what happens if they meet somebody in real life and they're a fan, and then he tries to use that to his advantage? If that person is identifying as a male.
That is very fair. All right, next. Question.
All right, next question here. Omegle shut down.
Tyler,
You hear
how-
about this? Streamers use Omegle.
Yeah, I think that that's a major loss for content. Just because so many people still use Omegle. I call it Omegle.
Omegle?
However you may pronounce it.
Omegle,
However you may pronounce
balls
it.
jiggle.
But from what I
Oh,
heard, and I
Dad.
could be wrong, as much as Omegle shutting down, it was free before. I'm pretty sure they're starting up another website
I want to miss
soon.
the guys dropping their drawers and smacking.
Well, that
them.
yeah.
You
The
know?
biggest thing is I think
I'm
it.
really gonna miss.
I think it's good for that regard in the overly sexual content that
F24.
comes out, dude. That's crazy. But you guys are wild. But
Smash
yeah,
or pass.
but yeah. So I think that's one of the biggest things. But also, I'm pretty sure it was bringing in more money than it was drawing. So they're moving to, I think, a paid site soon, and that will also deter a lot of the overly sexual content that comes out.
Oh, it's
of
just gonna turn into another OnlyFans. Okay, next
it.
question.
I don't think so.
All
but I
right.
understand.
Here we go. Pokimane is now selling cookies to people at the grocery store trying to have her own personal brand like Mr. Beast Feastable
Wow.
Bars. Tyler, what do you think about
Would
this?
you eat Pokemon's cookie?
I'm gonna
Would-
pass on that first question.
When you
that
dunk
second
those
question?
in some milk.
No. Okay.
How about the bath water?
Okay, so I think that a lot of YouTubers, not just YouTuber or any sort of content creators that are large enough, they come under this kind of conception that they can just brand out and become a company. And I'm not saying that she can't. I can't fucking speak. She has more money than I could even fathom, right? But she's very probably able to do it because of her audience. And I think that it will work because, well, I'm not going to lie, a lot of her audience is perverted, and that's just a fact. If you've known anything about, how people react to Pokemon being on a screen, that's one of the biggest things. It's kind of weird and gross, but not her, but the people that do that shit.
That is some crazy stuff, but unfortunately, it is 3 minutes.
Next
Okay,
topic.
next topic.
All right, Sweater GXD. He was on a stream. He was on a stream on Kick, IRL stream at a bar, and he was being mega fucking racist.
He said some horrible shit.
What do we think about racist streamers? Tyler, go.
Tyler, go.
I don't think racist streamers should exist on any streaming platform.
Tyler, why?
The whole, it's number one within the terms of service, but number two, it's immoral, and it's immoral to be racist. Like, it's amoral to not be racist.
Ooh,
and-
amoral. That's a great word.
That's not a word.
Would you say
It is
Oh, it's
amoral, like
amoral.
immoral, like a singular moral.
Amazing.
Nick A.
That's
Tyler is
That's
on
crazy. I'm
stream.
Nick A. Tyler. But I don't think that any racism or any sort of discrimination should exist on any of these platforms, and that's why I don't think it should be in streaming at
Completely
all.
agreed.
And I don't give I'm not gonna get too much into it, obviously, but it's not right, and it's against any terms of service, especially on my channel. There's no racism allowed. If there is, you're either banned, timed out, or you just don't talk.
Bro is a conscious human being. On to the next topic.
All right, quit your yapping. Here we go. The next topic
That's
here for
crazy.
the Flip 5. Kick users have been reporting that Phase 2 partnered streams are getting no views but are featured on the front page.
And for some context,
Phase two.
context here, there's the original partners that came into Kick to be able to boost the whole thing, right?
Yeah,
We
with
got-
XQC
we
and
got
everybody.
those main people, and then it's the second round of people that are coming in that are on the front screen with 17 viewers, while XQC could be in the background, for example. Tyler, what do you think about this?
I think that that's one of the biggest draws to Kick right now, is that a lot of these big streamers, they deserve the front page. Yes, absolutely, they deserve the front page. They've worked hard. They have a brand. They're fucking amazing, right? They've done everything that they can to get to that point.
Amazing.
That's crazy. I'm not Nick A30. Thank you though. But I think the biggest thing is that Kick has such discoverability for small streamers, and the fact that they have that, I think that it's good for.
Time.
All right.
That was great.
That was a great
thank
Flip
you, man.
5
That was fantastic.
section.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
participating in
Thank
our
you.
Flip
Glad I
5
could appreciate
section.
it.
All right.
Or, I mean,
So
participate.
we're going to start wrapping things up here on our little interview podcast here.
Absolutely.
But-
The Intercast.
Yes, sir.
Got a few more questions for you here
Just a couple.
Absolutely.
about your streaming life.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, first off, what do video games mean to you?
Video games are a good release from, or relief from, everyday
release.
life.
Oh,
I say a good
release.
release. It's good stress release.
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 Yeah.
Release.
Release.
Ooh.
It's a
Weird
good-
little guy. Okay.
That's crazy.
He's slapping it. Are you a streamer? Let me ask you a question. Would you jerk it on stream?
Absolutely not.
Not even for the money.
No.
$1 million.
No money you can make.
What
with
about paid Omegle?
that. Nope.
Wow, you could be the XQC of paid Omegle. You get paid to go on there and just spank your shit.
I'm good, bro.
Thoughts?
It's just, that's not me.
Okay.
Understood.
All right. So what do video games mean to you?
Video games are a good relief or you guys are fucking wild. But
Keep going.
video
We
games
want
are
to hear your answer.
What do they mean to you?
video games are a good release from everyday stressors. They're a good way, even though they're stressful in themselves. They they help me escape sometimes in a good way, like a healthy way. They help me kind of just I get to play with friends and stuff like that, and you also make memories on video games. A lot of the stories are meaningful, things like that. That's the major draw for me that I absolutely adore, is that you can they're so versatile, and you can play with other people, you can make friends, you can have your own video game life to an extent, and it's nice to be able to move between that and reality sometimes, and to kind of separate those two things, and make more memories than you already make, even with things that are online.
An escape from realism is a great answer.
Yes,
Well, that's any video games, any streamer. I mean, you're giving your time up.
but a healthy escape.
that.
There are such things as unhealthy escapes.
And for
from
those of you
realism.
listening right now, this is a healthy escape.
Exactly.
Yes, it is.
Welcome to the Healthy Cast.
We're here.
We're here.
So I think overall, the struggles of streaming, especially as a new streamer. I mean, you've given us a lot of feedback onto how much it might take to really get big, and
Yeah.
some of the obstacles, such as short form editing, that can come up on the way and take up a lot of your time. But like you said, it really helps to be motivated and have a supporting, backing community the whole way through, who is there for you and is pushing you on.
Absolutely.
And that's a huge part of it. What is your community that you're in?
The community that I'm in, the smaller stream community, it's this streamer named It's Myers, ITSMIEARZ, and I'll say it because it's fair. He deserves the shout out.
Totally valid.
And he streams games. He does Pokemon openings every once in a while. He does a lot of different content. He makes music streams sometimes. He's really talented. And so that community that I'm part of is about almost at 2,000 subscribers. And he's been streaming for I think a little over 2 years, and I've been there for about a year. And he what else? He's really good with short form content. He's really good with it. It inspired me a lot, especially seeing not the success necessarily got, but the what drew me into that idea of a community was his community. That I made friends in that community. I realized, wow, I could be a beacon of that. One of the things I did when I started my streams on Kick is that I realized that you could use Discord as the bridge between Twitch and Kick. These people could come meet on here and make friends. Even if you like one platform over the other, you'll be able to meet with these people and talk to these people. And I just love that concept and the idea of getting to meet new people.
Let me ask you a question here.
I did that.
So you're a streamer now. You're small. It's easier to participate within your community because you're a small streamer. Right?
Exactly.
You become a large streamer. Your community grows. Now you have many people, and you can't be as personal in your community. I mean, what do you do? How do you keep it personal? When you're big, you got thousands of people.
That's where the parasocial paradox comes into place. As much as those words are alliterations.
It's a big PP.
Even though parasocial is not actually a real word, it's like a mixture of
Either
two.
way.
Okay.
But this is a paradox that becomes into play. He's even talked about it. Myers has talked about it. It's this idea that once you get big enough, you can't be as personal with everybody, and you will have to cut out people and stuff like that. But at that point, any of the founders, any of the people that were there from the beginning, I would still talk to when I can, and I would still be personal as much as I could with. But the biggest thing is, once you get that big, you can't be as personal. It's a fact, and as much as it sucks, once you get that big, you can host events where you have whole Fortnite lobbies or something like that, where you have a crazy stream delay, so you can go do what you want. People stream snipe you, but it's funny. It's fun, right? You can all chill. You can all have a good game. That's as personal as you can really get once you get that big. After that point, it's once you're talking about, you have 15,000 people viewing you and they all want to talk to you personally, you can't read chat that fast. But the one benefit I have to say is not everybody uses Discord, and so you can still be personal on Discord to an extent. Obviously, do not be messaging them some crazy shit. Thank you. That's very reasonable. If you make friends with somebody, that's different. But the biggest thing is you don't want, once you get that big, you can't be as personal because people use your fame to their advantage.
That's true. That's very true.
Absolutely agreed.
Follow-up question to that. As two OG insomniacs sitting at this table here,
Absolutely.
Will you forget about us when you go big? It's not an
No,
if,
I will
it's
not.
When you go big.
No, I don't know if I'll ever go big. I want to keep going with this. Being in college makes it hard at the same time, but I would never forget about you guys. I wouldn't forget about what is important to me. You know what I mean? Obviously, if somebody started asking me for money that's important in my life, I'd be like, that's not good, and I would cut them out. But if you have a shit ton of money, you know what I mean? It's a little different.
Yeah,
if people
totally.
it's like winning the lottery type
Understood.
beat. And obviously I know when something's genuine and when something's not. But I wouldn't forget about you guys. I wouldn't forget about, I have a mod named Ty Glorious. I have another mod named Justaw. I've got a few people that are friends to me that I would never forget about.
That's totally fair. And just so you know, your favorite podcast and everyone else out here's favorite podcast, never
Exactly.
forget about our favorite Twitch streamer
Thank you, I appreciate it.
and Kick streamer. Whatever
Absolutely
it may be.
agree.
I don't really stream on Kick much anymore. I plan on multi-streaming
But
soon.
either
That's
way,
my plans for the
That's
future.
what we're here for.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Cool. All right, so let's wrap it up here. Where can people find you?
Where can people find you, Tyler?
All right, so I mainly stream on Twitch, like I said, every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And every Sunday night I try to, but it's always a maybe. I try to stream over on Kick. I'm going to fix my schedule soon. But I plan on starting multi-streaming soon using Restream.io. It's an amazing platform, no extra computer cost, no bandwidth. And it will allow me to stream to what I eventually want to do in the near future, which I will. I will be streaming to Twitch, YouTube, and Kick all at once, all at the same
Fantastic.
time.
Amazing.
Twitch will be the highest priority and highest quality. Kick and YouTube will be about 720p, so it's the only difference, but it's not crazy difference.
Thank you.
Very cool. We'll
Yes,
we'll
sir.
have all of Tyler's links below in the description as per usual. We'll throw them in the link tree for a little bit too, just like we did with Brian McCoach way back when.
Yep.
Thank you very much for coming on the coming on the show.
Thank
You're
you so
always
much for
welcome
having
as a guest. This was fantastic.
Appreciate it.
Everybody, please go check out Tyler and at all of his socials. Fantastic guy, fantastic streamer.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
He wears the shirt well.
I
maybe
do.
we'll have to
I will
wear
wear this next stream if
maybe-
you guys want to show up.
So,
Absolutely.
video games are calling.
Video games.
Video games are calling, and I must go.
Touch some grass. Here we go.
Oh no, dude,
He's
I don't
going
like
to
grass.
touch some
I don't
grass.
like
Tyler
grass.
is going to touch.
We're
some
going to
grass.
see you in a minute. We're going to touch some
We're going
grass.
to touch some grass.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Help! Help me!